As we welcome you to Wednesday Baseball on Spectrum Sportsnet LA, brought to you by Land Rover. We'll try to do it with what he hopes is more support from the offense, which again hit a home run and is now one game short of the all-time record for consecutive games with a home run in their home ballpark. 31 consecutive games as Jock Peterson last night went deep for the second night in a row. Welcome inside, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. Joe Davis, Nomar Garciaparra. The Dodgers getting it done with the long ball, but they also last night got it done very importantly with 2 out, getting all their runs with 2 out.
Yeah, those six RBIs last night with 2 outs are really key. Right now, the Dodgers in a lot of offensive categories are leading the league with 2 outs. And if they can continue that, they're going to find themselves once again out there at the World Series. They're getting it done with 2 outs. They're getting it done with 2 strikes. And it's not just a couple of guys in particular. It is throughout the entire lineup. I think that's really been the focus of this offense.
Today they get back Cody Bellinger, who missed his first game in 113 games last night after getting hit on the knee in the first game of this series. And I think once we saw what had happened, if you had told us at that moment he'd be back in 2 days, we would have said thank goodness.
Oh, it was so loud. I mean, obviously you got 95 coming at you and hitting him in the knee. It was so loud when we heard it hit off the phone. I think we were all scared. He was scared. It was good to see him walking that day. What was more impressive is how he felt the very next day. When you got the lead leader in the National League in all these offensive major categories, and then he's back in the lineup just a couple of days, you're excited. Fans are excited, and I bet you he's excited.
Great day to be at the ballpark. Great day to hide your computer monitor from your boss while you try to watch the game. Dodgers and Reds, final game of the series coming up. Your SoCal Land Rover retailers. On a bright and comfortable Wednesday afternoon, Walker Buehler and the Dodgers looking for the series sweep over the Cincinnati Reds. And the lineup that he'll face off with this afternoon has Joey Votto leading it off, followed by Yasiel Puig. And the center fielder Jesse Winker hits third. In left field, it's Matt Kemp. Derek Dietrich starts at second, hits fifth. Kurt Casale doing the catching out of the 6th spot. Iglesias at short, and Kyle Farmer, the old Dodgers, starting at third base. Well, Buehler, of course, had the slow build up to spring training, and he's had a bumpy start so far with the ERA above 8, coming off the outing in St. Louis last week where he gave up 5 runs in 4 innings. And of course, part of it is the slow build up, and he would tell you that too. But he says too, Nomar, that it's simply just him not executing pitches at this point. And this far in, 3 starts in, it's simply not good enough, he says.
Well, it's not, but I think now is where you really get on yourself, because if you look at over a course of spring training, starters usually maybe get around 4 to possibly 5 starts in spring training before the season starts. Well, that's where he is now. He's had those. Unfortunately, he had to do it at this level where where the games count. But at the same time, I expect him to go out there. And when you look at it, he's given up 11 earned runs. 9 of those 11 have come off just 2 innings.
Off we go in this one with a fastball that's up and away on Votto, and ball 1. The big inning last time around was the 2nd. And that loss to the Cardinals last week. 2-0 on Votto. And the biggest issue within those big innings has been a lack of fastball command.
I know it sounds cliche. We say it all the time. Pitcher needs command to be effective. It doesn't need it, but they say first and foremost we want command, and then you want movement.
3 balls and no strikes as he faces his boyhood team here. Walker grew up in Lexington, Kentucky. His dad worked in Cincinnati, just blocks from the stadium, so they used to walk down after the work day and take in Reds games. That's a strike, 3-1. That it's a mixture of Reds fans, Braves fans, Cardinals fans in Kentucky. But he went with the Reds, with his dad being a Cincinnati native originally. And some great rotations, some great teams while Walker was growing up that Cincinnati had. He walks Votto to start this one.
Right field, number 66, Yasiel Puig.
And here's Yasiel Puig. Started his return to Los Angeles with a bang, hitting a first-inning home run against Clayton Kershaw on Monday night.
All part of the allure in the storybook that is Yasiel Puig. Dodger fans have come to appreciate and enjoy in his tenure here in the Dodger uniform, and not really surprising that his first at bat he would do something like that and hit a home run.
6 years in Dodger blue to open his major league career. That's fouled back, and it's 1-1. And they traded to Cincinnati this offseason, of course, along with Matt Kemp and Alex Wood and Kyle Farmer. It's been a reunion for a bunch of guys this week. Lots of catching up and hugs exchanged. Turner Ward, the hitting coach. And there are a few other guys that have been traded in recent years, like Jose Peraza and Scott Schebler. That's a strike, and it's 1-2. Now, these teams over the years have hooked up on 56 trades all time. Actually goes all the way back into the 1880s when a guy named Pop Corkhill was traded for John Stewart. Fielder comes home, and Puig takes it high. It's 2-2.
Trading from the blue to the red, you can understand it if there's different divisions, you know, and then you're going, okay, if I'm going to also trade for players, if you're in the thing where you're better National League or American League, there are two types of players, and you're going to trade a guy within the same kind of league too. So
Fielder strikes Puig out for the first out of the afternoon.
Just attack with the high heat. You know one thing, that Walker Buehler is not going to be afraid to challenge hitters. And even with 98, 99, we know big league hitters will catch up. So the key is still has to hit his spots.
And that fastball, which a year ago was #1 in baseball, with opponents hitting 175 against it. We mentioned he's having a hard time finding the zone with it. When he does, when he has this year, they've been hitting it. 346 the average against his fastballs as he delivers a strike perfectly placed to Jesse Winker. Fly to center field and slice into A.J. Pollock. He's got it. And Buehler has out number 2. Pollock part of this defense, brought to you by Keck Medicine of USC, with Peterson and Verdugo in the outfield. Alex Verdugo starting in right again. Cody Bellinger's at first, and Justin Turner, second consecutive day off, having fouled the ball off his ankle a couple days ago, and then some hamstring tightness as he tried to favor the other side.
I'm sorry, I was just going to tell the players to stop walking so we can see where they're going.
I know. Keck Medicine of USC, not a fan of the shift. Muddies their graphic. Kemp with 2 out, takes ball 1. And for Kemp, the trade was something he's gotten used to. 4th time Matt's been traded. For him, though, it all began here in Los Angeles. Debuted in 2006, spent his first 9 seasons with LA.
And then what a year he had for the Dodgers last year. Really, just definitely the MVP of the team. First half of the season, it would not be where they would not have gone to the World Series without Matt Kemp.
What made it even more interesting of a story was everybody was certain that he was going to be traded before the end of spring training.
Well, they were
on the
saying
corner 2-2.
First, wasn't it? Was he even going to be in spring training uniform? And then it was, well, how long is he going to be in that uniform while at spring training? And then he's dogpiling, getting ready to go to the World Series.
Well, the Dodgers acquired him in December prior to last season. and told him don't bother coming to FanFest in January because they didn't want any awkward moments, any awkward questions that he'd have to answer. Pops this one to right field where Alex Verdugo drifts to his left with the shades glistening and puts it away to end the Reds first. A leadoff walk, but then Buehler finds the range with a fastball. Sonny Gray takes it after this. National League scoring 6 runs per game so far this season, and the bulk of that damage has come against opposing starting pitchers. And with the first few innings of games, the offense has come out clicking. We'll try to do it today against Sonny Gray as they go for this series sweep with his starting lineup that has Jock Peterson at the top, and for just the second time this year, Cody Bellinger hitting out of the 2 spot. Then Pollock and Muncy. Hernandez hits 5th. Verdugo's in right with Taylor and Barnes rounding it out against the first-year Reds, Sonny Gray, who was acquired in a trade this winter from the New York Yankees and has gotten off to a good start.
Yeah, just 3 earned runs in 13 1/3 innings so far. He's got 13 strikeouts. Talked about at the top, came out of his last start. Got hit in the calf in the 4th inning, but it was okay.
You know, the overall numbers, when you're looking at the earned run average, but then you compare that to some of the peripherals, you figure there's a bit of a regression coming quickly because this guy's thrown fewer strikes than anybody in baseball. And when he's missing, opponents are chasing at a lower rate than against any other pitcher in baseball. So how in the world is the ERA still sitting at 2? He falls behind Peterson 2-1. The problem for him, as you know, Nomar, is he's faced in a lineup that typically is not going to help you out by chasing.
Dodgers really make an emphasis, and it's funny, you're like, well, doesn't everybody say stay in the strike zone? Yes, but the Dodgers really make pitchers worse.
Jock might have fouled that one off his foot. It's 2-2. Sonny Gray is 29 years old. He's a first-round pick out of Vanderbilt, same place that Walker Buehler went. He was there a few years before Walker. Drafted by the A's, spent the first few seasons with them, then to the Yankees at the deadline in 17. And over to the Reds this winter and immediately signed a 3-year extension. He goes full on Peterson.
He's only faced the Dodgers once in his career, and the last time he faced them, that was back in 2015. And it was here at Dodger Stadium. And if history repeats itself, Dodger fans won't like it because he threw a complete game shutout that game.
A payoff, and he gets Peterson to open the day. That was nothing personal in that 2015 season because he was doing that to pretty much everybody. And Sonny Gray had become one of the, 4 or 5 best young pitchers in the game that year. Finished 3rd in Cy Young voting. But his ERA since above 4.5 as he's dealt with several nagging injuries and then what looked like struggling with the pressure of pitching at Yankee Stadium and in the pinstripes. Gray's first pitch to Cody Bellinger is on the corner for a strike. So Bellinger back in there after missing last night's game. Hits it hard, but they've got him positioned perfectly. Dietrich throws him out. Dietrich, part of that Reds defense today, brought to you by Keck Medicine of USC. Kemp, Winker, and Puig across the outfield. We saw multiple times last night against Corey Seager, Derek Dietrich move into right for a 4-man outfield alignment.
Yeah, they move their guys a lot. When we look at this graphic, we're going, okay, it will not look like this for every batter. And Corey Seager is not in there, so we don't see guys going out there in the outfield and say, listen, your graphic is off. No, that was a 4th one.
2 out for Pollock.
Thinking about Cody Bellinger's last at bat. Obviously, you look to say if he's favoring the knee at all. And because of it, is his mechanics still going to be there? Is he going to be maybe off just a little bit? No, he was still squaring the ball up. So even though it was an out, it's good to see that that's not going to hinder anything as far as the swing mechanically.
One ball, one strike on A.J. Pollock. We were talking yesterday about Iron Men and how you just don't see long streaks anymore. This ended a streak for Bellinger that was by far the longest on the Dodgers, of appearing in 113 consecutive games.
Oh, every time I look at it, I'm going it's hard to believe 2 days later he's back in there. It really is.
Pollock chases one that a couple of feet off of the plate here. That breaking ball to Sonny Gray that made him one of the top young arms in the game a few years back. Gets Pollock to complete a 1-2-3 first. Scoreless game after the Dodgers took the opener Monday night in walk-off fashion 4-3 and cruised last night 6-1. Common theme in those two games, and if you include Sunday as well, has been stellar starting pitching, as the Dodgers have gotten quality starts in 3 straight.
Yeah, it was not going too well when you look at their 6-game losing streak prior to that, and even early part of the season. Dodgers starting pitching not really going deep into the games. Heavy workload on the bullpen, looking for something to change, and Ross Stripling really started that off in his last start. And with Kershaw continuing that, and then Kenta Maeda. Now looking for Walker Buehler to continue, and make no mistake, starting pitchers, they compete. And I mean not just competing against the opposing hitter, which is obvious. They compete amongst each other. They see that fellow starting pitcher have a good outing. They want to say, okay, well now it's my turn, and maybe I'm going to one-up you and be a little bit better, and then keep circling around, and it could snowball into a very positive streak for a team.
Derek Dietrich leading this inning off for Cincinnati, behind 1-2. As Buehler has gone almost exclusively with that fastball that he's been trying to find the range on over the first few starts. That's an off speed that misses up, and it's 2-2. Only his 3rd off speed pitch out of the first 21 that he's thrown. Dietrich with a fly ball to center field for A.J. Pollock. One gone.
In that first inning, Walker Buehler got off to a little slow start as far as his command. 5 of his first 6 pitches were balls. And then there was his last 11. He had 8 of the 11 were for strikes, so finding that strike zone. Right, trying to carry that into this inning. We talked about, still looks like early part of this season, like he was still just trying to find it, was still kind of working on things to try to stay sharp. And we've always said, understandably, when you only have 1 start in spring training and now you're out there in your next start in the game. Yes, they have a simulated one, not the same, but the next one is in the big leagues.
Kirk Casale with the bases empty and 1 gone takes high, and it's 2-0. The second inning is the one that got Buehler his last time out. And you mentioned most of the damage against him over his first 3 starts this year has come in 2 individual innings. Gave up 4 runs in the second against St. Louis Thursday. That was right after he hit the first home run since he was a high schooler. Crushed to right center. You're talking about the competition within the starting pitching group. Quite a little competition going on in pitchers' batting practice. And a little competition going on this year. I don't think anything official, but they were kind of polling each other the other day. Who's going to hit a home run this year? I think there's an agreement that Ryu's going to run into one. General agreement, Julio Urias, athletic enough where he's going to. Rich Hill?
What? Nobody gave Rich Hill any credit? Come on.
A strikeout of Casale for out number 2. Bob Guerin has said he thinks Rich Hill will hit a home run at some point.
Well, they just like Rich Hill getting on base. They like watching him run as well. And we have a look at Walker Buehler hitting his. This is an amazing game. The reason I say that is you could be riding so high, get your first home run, all smiles, and then have to come out and it can humble you in an instant.
Yeah.
And then give up 4 the next inning, the next half inning.
Jose Iglesias takes a strike.
Yeah, the other competition that the pitchers have, not just from a home run standpoint, but they also have a competition from getting the bunt down and sack bunts. They work tirelessly on that.
It's a Bob Guerin-led charge as well.
Yes.
Feeds the pitching machine to him every day. Buehler comes back home and a sharp slider into the dirt, but a check swing, and it's 2-1.
He's out there every day, out there with the pitching machine, working on bunting, and it's not like this isn't forced on the pitchers saying, you guys have to be out here, let's go work on bunting. He knows he's going to be out there, and everybody is out there trying to get better.
Did Yasiel Puig have hearts on his face? He does. Joey Votto put the eye black on him today.
Showing the love.
Yeah, it's a good look. Wide up and a 2-2 pitch. Challenged him with a fastball, and he took it right back where it came from for the first hit of the day for Cincinnati.
Third baseman number 52, Kyle Farmer.
I talked about this yesterday about the starting pitchers. Some of the struggles that they were having early in the season is when they were missing their spots, they were missing over the middle of the plate. They weren't missing off the plate. They were missing the corners, and hitters were able to do damage on those mistakes. That pitch right there, he missed his spot. They wanted it away, but it wasn't over the middle of the plate. That was up and out of the zone. Look at, okay, you want that down and away. That's a foul ball there. But the hit before, that was impressive how Iglesias got to that ball and he took it up the middle.
Ball and a strike on Farmer. Here's the one you were talking about.
So you're like, okay, you want this one, you want it away, but it was up, and he still gets to that. It wasn't necessarily. And then when we had the K zone, you saw it just out of the strike zone as well. So get a hit by Iglesias.
Buehler picks him off. Adam leaning. Put it on the mark. And Iglesias retired. Side retired in the second.
Doesn't take much. Just one little jab step gets you.
Sportsnet LA is brought to you by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Hurry in to Southern California BMW Center today for exceptional offers, or visit SoCalBMW.com for details. And by Jack in the Box. Come try Jack's $4.99 sourdough patty melt combo. Only a Jack in the Box for a limited time. Price of participation may vary. Pretty good daytime crowd today. A lot of people got doctor's notes. Get out of work or whatever they had obligations on this Wednesday. Where would you rather come? Max Muncy takes a first pitch breaking ball for a strike from Sonny Gray.
It's a beautiful day. The Dodgers are playing. I think I'm going to go to the game.
Good life choice.
Yep.
Muncy takes a strike and it's 0-2. Thought about laying one down with only one man on the left side of the infield.
Great idea. Leading off the inning. Shift. Wide open over there. You get that down and you can walk to first.
Max swinging it well lately. Last 12 games he's hitting above 350. Back-to-back starts for him at third base, with Justin Turner getting back-to-back days off. That ankle that he fouled a ball off of during batting practice the other day. Gray strikes him out. Already his third.
Second baseman, number 14, Kike Hernandez.
We're talking about Gray. Only part of the season, maybe having a little trouble finding the strike zone, but he's really not here against the Dodgers. And he is making some quality pitches. He's making some good. That pitch right there looked like a strike, looked like a fastball, and had a good late break to it.
So one gone in the second inning, and he gets ready to face Kike Hernandez. It was one for his previous 11 before yesterday's game and contributed 2 hits. Dodgers as a team had 13 hits yesterday, their most in 2 weeks. Gray to Hernandez, 1-0. Spins away, ball 2. Dodgers looking for their 4th consecutive win after the 6-game losing streak. Crack bat to the hold it short. Iglesias. 2 gone. For Alex Verdugo, in time for the Land Rover Performance Spotlight. Had the first career 3-hit game last night. At least as a major leaguer, and over his last 4 games, these are the numbers. Continuing to take advantage of pretty much every opportunity he's been given.
And a fan favorite here every time he comes to the plate because of his walk-up song.
And more because of what he's doing.
Exactly. And I tell you, he brings some energy to the ballpark every day. We see it when he's out there hitting doubles, sliding into second, knocking runs in. Before the game, high-fiving everybody, bringing that energy. Him and Kike, they keep everybody loose.
Well, today pregame, Verdugo is making it rain with Kershaw, tending to spray money all over the dugout. And Kershaw was dancing right along with him. I think he might have borrowed some of that money from Kershaw. Not sure, but I'm just guessing. Dodgers looking for their first base runner against Sonny Gray, who's through his windup. Home with an 0-2, and very high. Sonny's got a few dollars himself. 3 years, $30 million. The extension that he signed right when he was traded. It was part of the contingency in the no trade clause that he had. He wouldn't accept the trade unless they tacked on the extension. 1-2. Verdugo fouls it into the mitt for strike 3. That is 4 Ks over 2 perfect innings for the newest Cincinnati Red. No score after 2.
Out on MLB Food Fest presented by Budweiser, coming to downtown Los Angeles April 26th through the 28th. Visit MLB.com/foodfest to see the full menu featuring items from all 30 ballparks. Fan favorites include the pulled pork pierogi hoagie, toasted grasshoppers, and the churro dog.
Ball 1 on Kyle Farmer, who was at the plate when the second inning ended, with Jose Iglesias getting picked off. 1 hit, 1 walk for the Reds against Buehler through 2 innings. Who pitches 1-0 and gets a swing and a miss with a sinking fastball. It's 1-1. On the ground to Max Muncy. Farmer's out number 1 of the 3rd.
Pitcher number 54, Sonny Gray.
And in a scoreless game, Sonny Gray comes up. Vanderbilt against Vanderbilt in the pitching matchup today, and in this matchup right here. Gray a little bit older than Buehler. He's a first-round pick out of Vandy in 2011. Walker got to Vanderbilt the following year. And another connection between these two guys and on this day is that the Reds pitching coach, Derek Johnson, was the pitching coach at Vanderbilt. So he was the guy that got Sonny Gray there, coached him through his time. And then while he was the guy that recruited Walker Buehler to Vanderbilt, 2 months into his time there, 2 months into Walker's freshman year, so before he even got to a baseball season, Derek called Walker and asked if he could meet him at a Brugger's Bagels in Nashville. And they sat down, and Derek said, Walker, I know that I've recruited you for these last few years to come here. You're my guy. I'm your guy. I took a job with the Cubs. I'm leaving. And so Walker said, okay. Thought about it for a second. Said, I'm fired up for you. Congratulations. If you're leaving, I am too. I'm going to transfer to Cincinnati, which is where his dad was. And Derek Johnson is the one who wound up talking Walker Buehler into staying. He said he didn't come here for a pitching coach. He came here to be part of a great program, get a world-class education. And so Walker obviously stuck around Vanderbilt, had a fantastic career there.
That's classy to say as well, and definitely spot on. You know, when you pick your college, you shouldn't necessarily just pick it for the coaches, although that definitely comes into play. Not saying that's not it, but he's right. You look at the college and feel that that is a great fit for all the other intangibles that college brings. But obviously there was something in Johnson that he was excited to go pitch and learn from.
Buehler delivers 2-2 and pops the mid at 98 to get his fellow Commodore. So Derek Johnson went from Vanderbilt to the Cubs minor league system as their pitching coordinator, and then has spent the last couple of years as the Brewers pitching coach. You know, the Brewers went to the National League Championship Series last year and finished one game shy of the World Series and got rid of their hitting coach and their pitching coach. Darnell Coles went to Arizona. Derek Johnson to Cincinnati.
Which you don't see happen too often.
No. Ball one on Joey Votto. 1-1. And he started to find the range on that fastball, hasn't he?
Yeah, a lot better. Let's say last couple of this one, actually the first batter that he faced, Kyle Farmer, it looked like he was still kind of searching just a little bit. He just wasn't just in a rhythm, like he was still just kind of thinking about it. Sonny Gray, and here, more conviction and more confidence.
How about 99 with tail to get Joey Votto swinging to the bottom of the third, no score. He's retired the first 6 Dodgers that he's faced in a scoreless game. We go to the bottom of the third. Taylor, Barnes, and Buehler coming up. Chris making the start in short today. Corey Seager getting the day off. Dave Roberts noticing that he's played 7 days in a row. Still getting his legs underneath him here in his first year back from the pair of surgeries last year. And Dave Roberts plans to play Corey Seager all 4 games in Milwaukee this weekend. 1 ball, no strikes.
Not a bad timing when you're going to day game after a night game. Getting a bit of a break. And it gives Chris Taylor an opportunity. Right now the Dodgers are really trying to figure out Sonny Gray. He's retired 6 in a row, and 4 of those by strikeouts.
Taylor lays off, and it's 2-1. Chris, a slow start overall this year, but starting to show some signs of life the last few days. 1 for 4 in yesterday's game and has a hit in 4 straight. On a 2-1. Loads up and has his back cracked on a roller to third for Suarez, or for Farmer, beg your pardon.
We'll celebrate Corey Seager's return to the field on May 9th when the Dodgers open a 4-game series with the Washington Nationals. Be one of the first 40,000 fans in attendance and receive a Corey Seager bobblehead, courtesy of Security Benefit. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Scoreless in the third as Austin Barnes comes up. Takes ball one. Barnes has cooled off a little bit this last week. 2 for his last 20.
I said the times that you're frustrated as a hitter is when the pitcher makes a mistake or one gets over the middle of the plate or has a tendency to fall over that and you don't square it up, you foul it off, or maybe you just miss it. And Sonny Gray right now, we talked about how he's looks pretty sharp so far in these first 2 innings. That one was one that kind of fell over the middle of the plate.
The one does, and Barnes takes it 1-2. Plays off this pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now, Derek Johnson, the pitching coach of the Reds, he's a big part of the reason why the Reds are confident they can get Sonny Gray back to where he was in his prime. He's known Sonny Gray since Sonny was 14. Recruited him at an early age in Tennessee. Backs up and gets fouled off, and it stays at 2-2.
And that makes sense. If you have a guy that you have so much history with, and you think about all the success that he has had under his tutelage, and then you as a player have confidence in everything that he's telling you. You're going, this, he has seen me, he has been there, he understands me. So whatever I may be doing right or whatever I'm doing wrong, I'm going to listen. Because that's the challenge of any coach at this level, pitching or hitting, is guys who have had success in the past, and you may not have been there in their past, and then trying to get a rapport and trying to get that trust on if you see things or want to help. If, you know, some guys are just really open because they might be struggling. But if you've not and you've had success and now you're coming into something new, you really want to find those keys to be able to talk to them and build that trust early.
Barnes hooks a pop up to Kemp for out number 2. They went back to where it all began this winter, to Vanderbilt, and used all of the latest technology, all the pitch tracking machines that they have there, and you really dove into his repertoire and all the characteristics of his pitches, tried to find what's most effective for him, tinkered with different grips, different parts of the zone to use it, different wrist actions, trying to look for whatever edge he can get.
And there's also probably a feeling as well when you're in the environment where you had so many good moments, fun times, success. And you're going, okay, now this is where it's all coming back to me. This is where it's supposed to be. This is the way I work. This is the way I'm in the right mindset.
No one to Buehler, down and away for a ball. Yeah, Walker's home run the other day in St. Louis was his first one since he was a high schooler, when he didn't hit many, even though he was his team's best hitter. Gray showing him some respect, snapping one off to get ahead 1-2.
Probably going, I saw your home run. Saw that it was a fastball away and you went with it.
Perfect once through the order for Sonny Gray. On to the 4th, no score. Sweep, and time now for our Coors Banquet Timeless Moment. On this date in 2013, Clayton Kershaw got his 1,000th career strikeout, becoming the 2nd fastest Dodger to reach that mark, behind just Hideo Nomo. Did it against the San Diego Padres in this ballpark, and has since Run the total up above 2,000. The 5 Dodgers to reach that mark. Stu is the second fastest Dodger to reach 1,000. He's the third fastest in National League history to reach 2,000. Pedro Martinez, Randy Johnson, Clayton Kershaw.
Just one of many records and bars that he has set for himself. I say that all the time, where he has set such a high bar, and then when he gets asked about it, or gosh, did that feel like it was, you know, we use that word vintage Kershaw, and he gets upset like vintage, like he's old. Well, it's not necessarily just old, but also it's a compliment because of what you've done.
Puig swings at the first pitch from Buehler and sends a fly ball to left for Jock Peterson. I think it's going to be really fascinating to watch the way that he evolves as he moves into his 30s, and as he's talked about, as he tries to get through the injuries that have plagued him in recent years. How does he go about doing that? A.J. Ellis, his longtime catcher, has said that he is obsessed and addicted to winning. Clayton Kershaw is, and said even if it meant learning to throw right-handed, he would do it. And so what is he going to do when push comes to shove to reinvent himself, or at least tweak himself as he moves into the back half of his career? Strike on Jesse Winker.
We've already seen the adjustment he's made, and what I mean by that is the pitch usage of his fastball, where it used to be up nearly 70% of the time he was coming at you with a fastball. So as of last year, it was below 50%. He's using a lot more breaking pitches, understandably knowing the adjustment he needs to make.
Winker with the tapper right side. Buehler's got it and will beat him to the bag. 2 gone.
And also with that, the adjustment even in those breaking pitches, because he was a fastball, curveball pitcher early. Then it was fastball, curveball. And then when he got that slider, that put away devastating slider, it really just went to another level with Clayton Kershaw. But now he understands that the slider, it's not just one type of sliders. It's 2 different ones. I know we'll call it a cutter. It almost has more of a cut action. He won't call it a cutter because he probably doesn't throw it like your typical cutter where you're behind the ball and just let it go like a fastball. But it's 2 different breaks of that slider, understanding he needs that. Still has his curveball, 2 different sliders, and his fastball, and knowing how much command is important to set up those pitches.
Kemp off the end of the bat some. Sending Pollock to the warning track. Just missed it. A 6-pitch inning for Walker Buehler. No score to the last of the 4th.
It's time now for StatCast AI, powered by AWS. And who else other than Jock Peterson, who has been swinging a hot bat as of late. You see Monday's home run going out at 99 miles an hour, and then Tuesday's home run 99 on Monday. You're going, yeah, because that barely got off the wall, even though he was going out there and he was going, this is a walk-off when we're going home. But Tuesday keeps the streak alive. Swinging well, feeling well. And right now, leading off this inning, just looking to find a way to get on base, because Sonny Gray has been perfect.
And he's in there with a strike, 1-1. You just tipping your cap the first time through, or anything the Dodgers can change?
But no, you definitely make an adjustment. You're going, okay, he's trying to get ahead of us with that fastball. And then he's putting us away with that slider. Be ready for the get me over slider, because he'll utilize that. But I'm going, maybe now you're talking like, do we set our sights up high, because he's really got a good bite on that slider down in the dirt, and that he's gotten a lot of swings and misses, especially on all the strikeouts have been swinging strikeouts, not just looking.
5 once through the order, and he's got 2 strikes on Peterson. Here he comes. Make it 6.
Fastball ends up being up in the zone, climbing the ladder, and I said, you talk about it, you go in the dugout and you talk about it. Like I said, he's got the swing and miss slider, and that slider has looked like his fastball. So he's getting ahead of fastball, attacking you, so you know it's coming. So you as a hitter are already prepared for that. So if he can hit the bottom part of the zone with that slider, and it has a late break, looking like a fastball out of his hand. So you're going, okay, maybe I got to try to attack a fastball and cut the zone in half. And it's a fine line. Easier said than done, because then there's that fastball like the one Jock Peter said. You tell yourself, look up, and then you get it up, and you're going, okay, now you got to tell yourself, well, how high up? I mean, it's easier said than done, but you're trying to give yourself a chance, especially after the way he's looked going the first time through the lineup.
A 1-0 to Cody Bellinger is at the bottom of the zone for a strike.
And see, then that's what makes it tough. You're going, okay, I'm going to set up, but then he's going to get that fastball there, and he's getting the strike and hitting the bottom part of the zone. Now it's set up for a slider that can fall off, because it's going to look like his fastball down there that he just got a called strike for.
Stuck with the fastball, and he's moving it all over the place right now. Ahead of Bellinger, or they say outside, 2-1.
They didn't get that, huh?
No.
I was like, wow, 1-2. He thought it was a strike, and I thought it was as well. And I go, now he's just set up perfectly for that slider down.
3 balls and a strike on Cody.
There's that pitch before. That was a good pitch. And even though the umpire also deked us too, because the umpire was looking about to call it, and then he changed his mind.
Umpire's walk.
Yeah.
Nick Marley is a call-up umpire. Pacific Coast League umpire, who debuted in the majors a couple years ago, getting another opportunity here. On a 3-1 pitch, Cody Bellinger watches another fastball for a strike, and the count is full. Had the hardest hit ball the first time through. Go figure. Stopped at second base by Derek Dietrich. On a payoff, shanked foul.
The other thing that Sonny Gray is doing really well is he is not missing over the middle of the plate. Talked about maybe 1 or 2 I have seen where he has missed over the middle of the plate, but other than that, he has been really staying on the corners with that fastball.
7th pitch of the at-bat. Bellinger hooks a base hit to right center. And so, of course, it's Cody Bellinger that becomes the first base runner of the day for the Dodgers.
Talk about his first at-bat, hitting it hard, and why I liked it, because sometimes even subconsciously, after you're getting injured, your body naturally tries to make an adjustment so it doesn't hurt or you feel it when you're going up there in the next game, and especially on your swing. And I said, well, I didn't make any adjustments, still hit it hard. Well, he hits it hard once again. The other thing I loved about this, not other than the obvious great hit once again, was how hard he was able to run out of the batter's box and take a hard, strong turn, which is telling me his knee is okay.
He gets Pollock up there, who promptly bounces it to short. Iglesias, Dietrich, Votto inning over. So after the first base runner of the day against Sonny Gray, 1 pitch later, he's out of the inning. We go to the 5th, no score. Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Test drive one today during the Jeep Spring Sales event. On this date in 1950, Vin Scully woke up at his parents' place in New Jersey, took the train to Philly, and broadcasted his first game as a Dodgers announcer. Man on the left there is another Hall of Fame announcer, Red Barber, who handled the majority of the innings that day and in Vin's early years, but Vin got the 3rd and he got the 7th. Red Barber introduced him as a young fella I hope you're gonna like. And Vin took over the mic. Roy Campanella singled to start Vin's career on a day where Don Newcomb faced off with Robin Roberts and the Whiz Kids.
Someone I hope you're gonna like is an understatement. That might have been the understatement of the century. Wow. They're calling them safe.
Yeah, well, we need to tell them that there was even a question.
Yeah.
In the last few minutes, they've been taking a look at second base to see if Dietrich's foot was on the bag. And after a long review, they're going to say that indeed his foot wasn't on the bag. And so the inning is not over.
I tell you, I didn't even notice it one bit, especially, I mean, yeah, you're able to slow it down, but in real time, how fast it's going, it looked like it was just tailor-made routine. So right there, as you slow it down, you can see that his foot was up and off the bag there.
What do you think, Nomar? Old middle infielder, neighborhood plays dead.
There, you know, you really now, because of replay, have to make it extra to stay on it. I mean, that's just what you have to do. You have to tell yourself, remind yourself to do that. The one thing is, you have to do now. It's okay because nobody's sliding into you anymore. They're not allowed to. So at least
you can
take
your
time and do that. But then it's also just rhythm and timing too. That's something else you just have to work on, because that was just almost just instinctive turn. That's just like, all right, get there, my hands on there, my gloves there to get a quick turn. You're trying to turn that. I guarantee you, there were times when I was playing, there were times where I knew I was kind of off the bag on purpose when we didn't have instant replay, to try to get that little extra, see if I can get that little half step, because I know it was going to be close. But that one wasn't there. He knew he had it. That was just your instinct of normal turning. I guarantee he didn't even think his foot was really off the bag. You don't even feel that.
That's a great job by the Dodgers to catch that and give Muncy an opportunity here with 2 gone as he looks at a strike from Sonny Gray. They managed just 1 base runner against a Bellinger single here in the 4th. And what an odd thing for Sonny Gray, who leaves the mound, goes back into the dugout, hangs out for 5 minutes, and then finds himself in the 4th inning again.
And let's see if it breaks his rhythm,
because he has been locked in so far. No, so far, no.
He didn't change the break on his slider. Curveball, or his curveball right there. That was
thing just disappears. It was a curveball that made him such a highly regarded young pitcher with the Oakland A's. Statistically, the slider's been even better so far this year. Nice play. Gray goes up to pluck that one, and the 4th inning ends again.
Gray has been outstanding, as long as Walker Buehler as well, just 1 hit. But this is what's making Sonny Gray so effective right now. Watch this, but this is a breaking ball. But when it comes out of his hand, it just goes straight down. There's not really a pop above his fingers on the breaking ball. Hitters are able to recognize that pop of coming out of a pitcher's hand on a breaking ball or a curveball. Sliders, there's less of a pop, but a curveball like that one can kind of go up and over his fingers. There, it is coming on the same plane, which is the same thing as his fastball. So out of the hand, out of the spot, it looks like a fastball, and then the bottom's falling out of it, making it so difficult to really make the instant adjustment as a hitter. Boom, right there, you're thinking fastball, and all of a sudden by the time it gets to you, you're like, oh no, that's a breaking ball, and you've already committed.
Derek Dietrich flies under right field. Verdugo to the edge of the warning track. Nice shot by Buehler just to miss the barrel on that swing. 1 gone in the 5th. So 1 hit, 1 walk against Buehler so far today, and what thus far has been by far his best outing of the year.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of batters early on in the innings where he still was out there, and it wasn't just, hey, give me the ball, I want to get out here, I'm confident, I'm ready to just throw. And then after that first batter of the inning, it's like, there it is, I got it. And they give me the ball, get back on the hill, quicker rhythm, more confidence, and attacking that strike zone.
That is ball 1 on Curt Casali. I think you mentioned when he was facing Sonny Gray in the 3rd inning, didn't it seem like his tempo picked up a tick right then?
That's exactly right. Yeah. There was a couple of pitches on Kyle Farmer, the batter before. He got the ball back and was like kind of looking up and kind of like, God, what, like thinking in his head. And then once Sonny Gray was there, it was like, here it comes. I'm attacking, give it back. Same thing against Joey Votto. It wasn't like, what do I do against Joey Votto? Seemed like he had that confidence. Same thing here with Derek Dietrich against Puig, Winker, Kemp, that last inning as well right after that. So, yeah, there is a different tempo that he has.
He's retired 7 straight. He comes home with a 2-1. And a fastball clips the outside corner, 2-2. He figured it was a matter of time before he found it. He also would have bet coming into the year that it would have happened by now. We'd see a more consistent Buehler. Breaking pitch, went around, 2 gone. Started to mix that in more, too.
That he is, and keep it going. And fans, you can celebrate the life and legacy of former All-Star, Cy Young Award winner, and MVP Don Newcombe on Saturday, April 27th. Be one of the first 40,000 fans in attendance and receive a Don Newcombe bobblehead presented by 76. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
5 Ks for Buehler. 2 gone, 5th inning. Here's Jose Iglesias, who has the lone hit today against him. Nicely framed by Austin Barnes to get strike 1. The home plate umpire Nick Marley's hearing it from the Reds dugout. They didn't like how far Barnes had to reach to bring that up, and he's ejected somebody. He's ejected, it appears, David Bell, the manager. Quick trigger from the young fella. Nick Marley, 36 years old. Debuted in the majors less than 2 years ago, and like a player who's beginning his time in the majors, has been back and forth between the majors and AAA. Textbook walkaway, though.
Yep. You let your crew chief come in and handle it, and that's crew chief Dana DeMuth coming in. And I'll tell you, David Bell, not only going over to get your money's worth when you get tossed and you make your point, you stretch this out as long as you can.
Get Walker Buehler off his rhythm.
Absolutely. We were just talking about, we were just making a point of Walker Buehler and the rhythm that he has. Sonny Gray had the same thing. Tip your hat to Sonny Gray after that long layoff in the review, and he had to go back out there. He was effective. Now it's up to Walker Buehler to do the same thing.
He's made his point.
Now here's the pitch that got him kicked out, and as we see in the K zone, yes, that was low. And looks like he's looking over there, and then he wasn't having it. Looked over there a couple times.
And usually it's a cumulative thing.
Yep. Usually.
Part of that cumulative nature, though, could be losing 3 straight as they've lost. No balls, 2 strikes.
Then I think there was a couple of pitches that we saw Sonny Gray where there was, remember that one we talked like where the umpire balked a little bit, like we all thought it was a strike and he didn't get the call. That was one. And that was one against Cody Bellinger. Remember, that was the pitch against Cody Bellinger, and it changed it from a 1-2 count to a 2-1 count. It was a big pitch, and Cody Bellinger ended up getting a hit at the time. Sonny Gray was perfect at the time. So.
Still the only base runner for the Dodgers. Only 1 hit for the Reds. Good day for Vanderbilt. Buehler kicks and fires and misses away with a heater to even the count up 2-2. He's retired 9 straight. Adam fishing for a breaking ball there. Halfway home and no score.
Is mic'd up for batting practice ahead of his big night. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers presented by Cadillac. Friday after the postgame on Sportsnet LA.
Pitchers duel going in this series finale. Scoreless to the bottom of the 5th. Kike Hernandez takes ball 1 from Sonny Gray, who we talked about coming in, has not necessarily been pounding the zone so far this year. In fact, the lowest percentage of strikes of any pitcher in baseball so far. And not been getting much help either. Nobody's been chasing, at least over his first few starts. And he went around there, 1 ball, 1 strike. Much much better ratio so far today, though, for Sonny Gray than he's had his first few outings.
Ratio might be different. You're right from that. But effectiveness has been there. When you look at over his last 2 starts, just allowing him 1 earned run. 5 hits and no walks. And let's not forget that also contributes to his last start where he came out after just 4 innings because he took a line drive to the calf. And by his effectiveness today, that didn't bother him.
On 2-1, Hernandez with a big rip and a miss, 2-2. And the pitch count very under control for Sonny Gray at just 57. Buehler not bad either. He's been so efficient the last couple innings. He's thrown 69 through 5. With Verdugo and Taylor to follow in the 5th. Gray to Hernandez, 2-2. Got him swinging in the pitch in the dirt. But Sally throws him out.
Sally had to not only pick that ball out of the dirt, he also had to avoid the bat. The bat dropped from Kike Hernandez to get him out. Watch this. He does a great job blocking this ball. And then Kike Hernandez, the bat right behind him, and Sally has to avoid it to get inside to make a throw. Saying, here it is. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa. Don't step on it. That would have been an interesting call if it had interfered with his play. He threw that ball away.
Verdugo watches an off-speed pitch miss. With that swing and a miss from Kike Hernandez, the Dodgers have swung and missed on almost half of their swings today. League average a little more than 20%. How many swings come up empty? That's a strike, and it's 1-1.
I wonder if that's either considered another one there, swing and a miss, or it was also both. It also hit the strike zone.
Yeah, one way or another, it's strike one.
Yeah.
And Verdugo struck out his first time, one of the 7 for Sonny Gray, who rocks and deals and misses. Ball 2. Sonny Gray from the Nashville area in Tennessee, which is the closest major league city to Nashville is Cincinnati, so that it'd been extra special for him getting traded there, and part of the reason that he wanted to sign the long-term deal with the trade. Drops that one in for a strike, and it's 2-2 on Verdugo. And the other thing that makes it special for him putting a Reds uniform on, his father Jesse, who passed away in a car accident when Sonny was 14, he was a diehard Cincinnati Reds fan. Verdugo down the line, foul. Those two are very close, as with most fathers and sons, but bonded over baseball. Jesse started coaching Sonny when he was 4 years old, coaching the 6 and under team. Sonny got to play it on his 4-year-old, and they won the Tennessee State Championship. And coached him all the way until he passed. And Sonny was in his freshman year in high school. Forced him to grow up overnight, he said. Delivers 2-2, and Verdugo lifts it down the left field line. Matt Kemp hustling in to catch it. 2 out. Verdugo, I think, thought that that had fallen in. It's hard to see during day games here, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Especially, as a hitter, not too bad as far as picking up the ball from the pitcher. That's always been a good batter's eye here, and you've been able to see the ball whether it's day or night. But seeing the ball off the bat is very difficult for the defense. And then sometimes if you don't really know if you hit it and squared up, like Verdugo, like where did it go, and you can't pick that up. But for the defense, not just from the brightness, but also coming off of the stands.
Taylor with 2 gone, swings away, hits it in the air to center. And Jesse Winker makes the catch to complete another 1-2-3 inning for Sonny Gray, sending us to the 6th. No score. Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. The new bacon truffle Angus burger with truffle infused cheese sauce, only at Carl's Jr. Well, if pitching is your thing, if low-scoring dramatic games are your thing, we've got a good one for you. No score to the 6th between Walker Buehler and Sonny Gray on this Wednesday afternoon, with the Dodgers looking for the sweep and looking for their 4th consecutive win. 8-9-1 coming up against Buehler here in the 6th. Kyle Farmer leads it off and takes strike 1 as Buehler's retired 9 straight, Nomar.
Well, right after that first inning where he ended up walking Joey Votto to lead off the game, getting out that, and then we touched on it. It really seemed like the last time he faced Kyle Farmer. Right after that, back in the 3rd, is where all of a sudden the rhythm, the confidence, getting back on the mound and just attacking started to go.
And he promptly retires him with another strikeout using just 3 pitches. Strikeout number 7 for him.
ES300 Hybrid this Sunday at Morongo. Good times.
So 1 away in the 6th. Up comes Gray. And it was almost as if it went from, in that Kyle Farmer at bat, him saying, really? Am I all over the place again? Is this a 4th start where I'm just not myself? You mentioned taking those deep breaths. And then the next batter, it was like he said, enough. Here I come. Here he comes with a 1-0. And a strike sizzles in at 95.
Yeah, you're right. And it almost like it was, I'm going to trust both myself. I'm going to trust Austin Barnes. I'm going to trust everything about it and just go pitch.
Inside out swing, pushes it to Bellinger. 2 out and 11 in a row retired. Well, the Reds hoping 3rd time's a charm as they bring the order up again with Joey Votto. Started the game with a walk against Buehler on just 5 pitches. It's the only one that he's issued. In fact, just 1 base runner since then. Outside, ball 1. Votto was part of those Reds teams that Walker grew up watching as a fan in Kentucky. Falls behind him here, 2-0. He said, though, he had kind of grown out of the diehard fan stage by the time Votto was a big deal. And so it hasn't necessarily been too jarring to him to stand up there and face Joey, which he's done before. 2-1. Not many guys would do that to Walker, just with the confidence that he carries. Not too rattled. That's foul, and it's 2-2. Another one of his Vanderbilt fellow alums, Carson Fulmer, who he's good buddies with. Fulmer's first batter that he ever faced in the majors was Albert Pujols. You know, at an age where when Fulmer was growing up, Pujols was the greatest player in the game.
Yeah.
Struck him out on 3 pitches and retired on the spot. Can't get any better. A little bit outside full count.
I'm going to leave my glove and hat right here. Okay, guys, wave off. I'll see you guys later. Hey, Albert, can you sign the ball for me? No, we're good. Okay, doesn't matter. I'm
Send
taking
it to Cooperstown.
There you go. Right.
Best career ever. Pound for pound. 3-2. Got him looking at 98 to the knees on Votto. And 12 straight retired for Walker Buehler, sending this game to the bottom of the 6th, scoreless. Marco, just some shots of these pitchers. Walker Buehler for the Dodgers, Sonny Gray of the Reds engaged in a good pitchers duel. No score to the bottom of the 6th.
Really all about Vanderbilt today so far in this game. Both of these pitchers have been lights out. Dominant. Look at their line right now. 1 hit apiece.
Almost identical.
Yeah, Sonny Gray's been a hair more efficient so far.
Misses with his first pitch of the 6th to Barnes. Boy, he must love pitching in this ballpark. You mentioned it earlier, Nomar. His 1 game here, 2015 with Oakland, complete game shutout. And so now he's thrown 14 scoreless innings in his career at Dodger Stadium. 2-0 on Austin Barnes starting the 6th.
I mean, Joe, let's face it, what's not to love? It's Dodger Stadium.
I'm with you.
So,
I am with you.
What's not to love?
Pinch yourself every
just
day.
Doesn't
here.
mean he has to be this effective against the Dodgers, but still, I can understand
why he enjoys it.
Yeah.
Three balls, no strikes on Barnes. I've seen him this around the strike zone. I don't think to a single hitter today. The only base runner was a Bellinger single in the 4th. That's a leadoff walk and 4 pitches that weren't very close.
21, Walker Buehler.
You were talking earlier about the competition among the pitchers, not just hitting home runs, but competition getting sacrifices down, and could make all the difference on a day like this.
No, you're right. And I was talking to Bob Guerin the other day about their work ethic and about getting that down. And I said, I love the way they practice and try to. He's like, listen, you just never know over the course of a season, long season, the consistency of getting those down, how much they do really impact and affect the game. And you're right. Here's one of those moments. And their base coach, Dino Evil, went over there and talked to Walker Buehler. I guarantee he was telling him not only, hey, let's get this down, but he just walked the guy in front of you in 4 pitches and make sure it's a strike as well.
Crashing in from first is Votto as he finds his zone, and it's 0-1. Here come the corners again. Barnes takes off. Throw to second. Not in time.
That was a great job by Austin Barnes. He noticed Joey Votto crashing early. And when he really went away from him, and he took 2 to 3 extra steps before the pitch was even done, because watch Joey Votto go right here. Look at Austin. Look at Austin. Nobody's there. He knows that. That's where he takes off from. Great job. Great read by Austin Barnes.
When you're taught you can comfortably go as far as the closest man to the base is.
You're right.
At that point, why not keep
And then
going?
also, but there's also a confidence. Usually when a guy breaking in that hard from a first baseman, you got to make sure that the second baseman's not also crashing over there to cover too. And so that's also communication from your first base coach saying, you're okay, go. And he takes off. Great read.
So let's see now. Still a sacrifice situation for Buehler, trying to move him up to third with 1 out, but fouls it off 1-2. You having him try again? You letting him swing away?
I'd have him try again. I mean, you have the leadoff batter just get to second base. This is like a leadoff double. Got to find a way to get him up, especially how effective Gray is. Now you got to set up a situation where you get a man on third base with less than 2 outs. Even a sacrifice fly could possibly knock him in.
Here comes the 1-2. Pulls the bat back and takes a ball.
Good job. Good job by Walker Buehler. That pitch right there, after you just try to attempt the bunt on the pitch before and you foul it off and you're frustrated and mad at yourself, it's really easy to now try to force it. Say, okay, I'm going to get this one where that pitch looked like it was down. That's where you want to go. You want to bunt it down, but to pull the bat back.
You showed us earlier on the super slow-mo cam how hard it is to distinguish that pitch from a fastball. 2-2 now. Here it comes. Takes it up. Here's a snap throw back to second, and Iglesias, great hands to keep that from skipping into center field.
If you followed Iglesias' career, this is not surprising because he has some of the sickest hands in baseball, and that was it right there. That was That wasn't just a normal hop either. That wasn't one where, oh, he just used his glove and he's short hopping and he picked it. That took a weird hop as well. It was almost behind him, like in his ear, that he still managed to catch.
So now a 3-2 pitch, and he got him. So Buehler unable to advance Barnes further, but he does get into scoring position himself with a stolen base. And up comes Jock Peterson.
Yeah, Walker Buehler definitely frustrated. You talk about it in a game like this where the pitchers have been so dominant. 90 feet is a huge, huge factor. And that 90 feet there with an at-bat like this, with a guy who has been getting the ball in the air, with a guy who has had swing and miss stuff on the mound, really needed to get him over.
Bottom 6, no score. Sonny Gray against Jock Peterson. He struck out both times so far this afternoon. You can't lay off a high fastball here. And it's 0-1. You talk about the 2-strike focus, the 2-out hitting focus the Dodgers came into the year with. A lot of that has to do with what do they do against the very best pitchers? What do they do when the ball's not flying out of the ballpark? How do they manufacture runs? And today, Sonny Gray would qualify as one of the best pitchers. Here's his 0-1. Another than 2.
It is so different as a hitter when you're coming up and you're going, okay, guy has been so good. I can just shorten up, take a 2-strike approach, shorten up, and no, I just look for a ball that I can just get in the air. Just manage to just get that in. Now it's so different because now you're looking for, now I got to get a ball that I can get a hit on so I can drive them in, get that run in. When I say 2-strike approach, I don't mean just, listen, right when I step on, I'm 2 strikes where I'm protecting the plate. I'm just saying I have a tendency to shorten up just because it's just about handling the bat so I can get a pitch that I can handle to get what I'm trying to accomplish.
On this 1-2, Jock Peterson leaves it up for ball 2. On deck is Cody Bellinger. No score on the bottom of the 6th in a game where there's just 1 hit apiece. Barnes started the inning with a walk and stole second. He's off to his lead as Gray comes to Peterson with a 2-2 that bounces in there. And the count is full.
It's a really good stop by Casale. We were just talking about how 90 feet matters, a man on second base, and how I was just saying, even if it's one pitch can change the course of this at bat, but him keeping him at second base.
Course of this at bat, and in a tight game like this, course of this game. They're set for the 3-2, and Peterson asked for time and got it. Turn into an excellent daytime crowd. They're hoping for something to erupt about. On 3-2, Jock Peterson swings through it, strike 3, 2 gone. Third time he struck out today. It's Gray's 9th, season high for him. Not out of the woods yet with Cody Bellinger coming up.
He just came right at him with the fastball. Wasn't even messing around. Swing and miss.
They're going to put Bellinger on intentionally and take their chances with A.J. Pollock. Fans don't like it, but the way things have been going, that's a pretty easy call. Freddie Benavides, by the way, the bench coach, handling things at this point for the Reds because David Bell, the manager, was thrown out 2 innings ago. Pollock, who's 0 for 2 and 0 for 6 in the series. Barnes at second, Bellinger at first. A.J. Pollock takes ball 1.
Pollock challenging his inner Alex Verdugo. I mean by that because yesterday Verdugo was a little upset they walked Kike Hernandez intentionally to get to him with lefty on lefty, but it made sense to walk Kike there, but he was taking it personally, and I'm like, great, that's the attitude you have to have, and he ended up hitting that double in the gap.
Whatever it takes.
That's right. That's right.
Doesn't matter if it's the right baseball call. If it fuels you, good. Pollock hits a fly ball, left center field, way back there, and gone! Bellinger and get to Pollock, who promptly breaks through against Sonny Gray in the 6th.
Maybe he did feel that chip on his shoulder. Maybe he was upset that they intentionally walked Bellinger to get to him. One mistake. We haven't seen very many from Sonny Gray today. And he keeps the streak alive here at home at Dodger Stadium, but more importantly, gives them the lead 3-0. Here's the breaking ball that he was able to stay back on and recognize and put a great swing on. Sonny Gray has been burying that breaking ball down in the zone. That was not down, that was up.
Good catch too.
He crushed it.
The streak that you mentioned that they've kept alive is now tied for the major league record.
No, it's the record.
32, yeah, because it happened on Earth and not in outer space. Right. Of course, 32 consecutive home games with a home run, matching the 99 Rockies for the major league record. A 1-1 to Max Muncy, a shot foul, strike 2. Number 2 of the year for Pollock. We've detailed has come up with so many opportunities to bring runners in just because of how good the guys ahead of him have been, and hasn't done a bad job in those situations. Muncy with a ground ball right side into the shift. He's hustling hard, but the throw beats him. At least if you look at the left on base numbers, it's a little bit skewed because there have been so many out there. A pitcher's duel. Broken up with a 3-run home run from A.J. Pollock. 3-0 to the 7th on a perfect day. His biggest swings in his short time as a Dodger, a 3-run home run against Sonny Gray to break the scoreless tie in the Carls camp.
And that was a good look over there on the Carls cam where we saw that breaking ball right over the middle of the plate. Talk about how good that breaking ball has been for Sonny Gray. It has been down. It's been on the corners. Not that time. And he makes them pay.
And now Yasiel Puig leading off this 7th for the Reds against Walker Buehler, who's ahead of him quickly 0-2. Well, Buehler, after a bit of a rocky first 2 innings, not that there was much traffic, he just still wasn't locating real well, has gone on to retire 12 straight. Home with an 0-2. Very high this time, ball 1. Which took Barnes' glove off.
Really important here for Walker Buehler to regroup, make sure he has that rhythm that he's been carrying over the last few innings. Especially after your team just took the lead here. Call it those shutdown innings, but they're so important because just from an emotional standpoint for your team. All right, we just got the lead, going out there, and your pitcher still wants to have that rhythm so your defense stays on its toes.
Puig digs that one out, flies it to center. On comes Pollock. It's going to fall in. Puig headed for second momentarily, then retreats as Peterson picked it up off a bounce. I think the big swing of Yasiel might have fooled A.J. Pollock out there in center. who was already playing pretty deep.
Yeah, sometimes you see the big swing, but you also you hear it too. And it didn't sound like it was necessarily off the end of the bat. You can kind of different. It did sound like, okay, he got that one. And we also touched on it here. You were talking about during the daytime. Where it's difficult to see is off the bat. It is really difficult to see the ball from the defensive side. There might be just that one split second of hesitation, and that's all it takes for you not to get the good jump. And that ends up falling in.
First base runner for Cincinnati since the second inning. And now Jesse Winker taking a ball. On to the second hit today. A walk and 2 singles against Buehler. That's all. Ball on a strike. Winker with a slicing drive right at Pollock this time. Makes the catch. One gone.
Left fielder Matt Kemp.
It looked like A.J. Pollock had a little bit on that one. At first, he read it and he was like going back. Like I said, not an easy read, especially the ones hit right at you. Those are the most difficult ones, but ends up making the catch. I wonder if they got the scouting report and said, oh, by the way, Dodger Stadium, day games, tough to see.
Scott Alexander loosening. There's a left-handed hitter on deck in Derek Dietrich. The pitch count right now for Walker Buehler at 89 as Matt Kemp climbs in. Can't be easy to see if you're Bellinger either on a pickoff throw.
Yeah, great, thanks. 98, 99 coming at me over here.
He's standing on the bag, Walker. A little bit outside, ball 1. Kemp is 0 for 2. 3 for 10 in his return to Los Angeles. Had a big swing on Monday night in the series opener. For a while looked like maybe the winning swing, putting the Reds up 3-2 against Kenley Jansen in the top of the 9th before Peterson won it in the bottom of the 9th. Laid on that fastball. 1-1.
See, this is the moment. See that right there that we were talking about earlier that we were seeing where he just kind of pauses, look up in the air, thinking about it. Like that pitch, yes, it was a strike, but I think he was upset that it was too much of the middle of the plate.
Left that one up as well, and Kemp banged it into left. Cincinnati gets the tying run to the plate here in the 7th.
Second baseman Derek Dietrich.
So Dietrich heads up there. And again, they've had the left-hander Alexander warming. They're going to go to him.
Yep.
4th day in a row, though. The Dodgers starter pitches into the 7th inning. 6 1/3 for Walker Buehler today, and it's going to be up to the bullpen to try and keep it scoreless.
Yeah, prior to Ross Stripling in his last outing, the Dodgers started pitchers, just 4 of them have gone 6+ innings. Now they've gone 4 straight. So great job by Walker Buehler.
Of the season so far, 6 1/3. At this point, nothing against him, although the men at first and second his responsibility. And now pitching change brought to you by BioFreeze. He hands it off to Scott Alexander, who Dave Roberts brought on for Derek Dietrich. But the Reds countering by sending up their best hitter, Eugenio Suarez.
Well, I think Dave Roberts has confidence in Scott Alexander, regardless of whether it's a right hand or a left. The really key here bringing in someone like Scott Alexander is also because of the sinking action of his fastball and looking to possibly get that ground ball, maybe a double play to get out of this inning.
So instead of Buehler against Dietrich, they get Alexander against Suarez. And a 3-0 game after the A.J. Pollock home run in the bottom of the 6th. Suarez, an all-star last year, drove in more than 100. Swings and misses at one that gets by Barnes, and they'll advance to second and third, taking that double play out of order.
Well, this is just frustrating for Austin Barnes. I mean, that ball, different movement. Scott Alexander usually has more sinking action on his pitch, and it's supposed to break the other way. It's supposed to break arm side. That ball almost looked like a cutter coming in, and I think that's what messed up Austin Barnes there.
One ball, one strike. 11th game for Alexander this year. He's given up just 1 run. There's that ground ball that he wanted. They'll get the second out as Taylor throws across to get Suarez, but the Reds get their first run. Puig is home, and it's 3-1.
We were saying before, A.J. Pollock's at bat, 90 feet being a huge factor in this game when you have a pitcher's duel going on. And how big was that wild pitch? Did they call it a pass ball? Ended up being 90 feet right there, because that possibly could have got out of the inning there with that hit.
Alexander for 1 hitter. Dave Roberts makes another call down there, and Pedro Baez comes on. Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times. Well, Pedro Baez comes on for the Dodgers, and in his last outing was as good as he's looked all year, going 1-2-3 and striking out 2 Reds on Monday night.
The other thing we touched on about his effectiveness that night was the effectiveness of his changeup. And the confidence that he continues to grow with it and willing to throw it at different counts, even in counts where in the past it was strictly fastball.
Second time in a row, the Reds counter a Dave Roberts move to a reliever with a pinch hitter. Switch hitting catcher Tucker Barnhart goes up there. Reds on the board. On the ground out from Eugenio Suarez. Kemp is at second with 2 away as Baez gets ready to go. Started him with a fastball, and it's up 1-0. Changeup gets strike 1. Baez delivers the 1-1 and a fastball by him. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Pedro Baez, when he just keeps growing confidence in that changeup, it makes that 96-mile-an-hour fastball that much more effective to hitters.
Stuck with it, but it's up 2-2.
See, in the past, you're facing Pedro Baez as a hitter, 2-2. I know I can just continue looking fastball. I know he doesn't want to get 3-2 on me. I know, but now, as of late, he's having more confidence to throw that changeup. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll look fastball, but he still might throw me that changeup.
And like you said, in any count.
Right.
Throws it on 2-2 and induces a weak ground ball to Chris Taylor that ends the inning. The Reds get one, but only one. We stretch in a 3-1 game on a great day for Walker Buehler. Connection to the game. The probables for this 4-game series are the Milwaukee Brewers. Tomorrow it's going to be Julio Urias and Zach Davies. Stripling and Chacin on Friday. Kershaw's next turn will come on Saturday, and at some point Hyun-Jin Ryu could get plugged in there, whether that's on Sunday or before that, bumping somebody else back. That's what it looks like for now. Some defensive changes for the Reds, with Eugenio Suarez staying in the game at third and moving Kyle Farmer to second, Dietrich to the bench, and Tucker Barnhart in for Kurt Casale. Sonny Gray's day is over. David Hernandez on for the bottom of the seventh. Kike Hernandez leading it off and taking an off-speed pitch for strike one. Now they had just one hit against Sonny Gray through 5 2/3 before the Bellinger walk and a Pollock home run. A shattered bat roller up along first and foul.
Gets that off the end of the bat and splits his bat. As a hitter, as hitters, you see a pitcher like Sonny Gray, you have another look at where the part of that bat went. Yes, you just scored some runs off him. You got a home run off of him in the last inning. But he was so effective. Now you're going through the rest of it. You're kind of going, all right, we got him out of there. Let's get to that bullpen. He was on today, but we're going to get that to bullpen. Now let's put together some good at bats.
Pop up. Sunshine has played tricks on folks so far today, but Winker's got it spotted, and Hernandez is the first out.
Infielder number 27, Alex Verdugo.
Yeah, now it's Verdugo. One ball and no strikes. Alex 0 for 2 today after his first career 3-hit game last night. Facing a 10-year veteran in David Hernandez in the seventh and moving ahead of him 2-0. Really enjoyed listening to Alex's postgame interview with Alana last night. And we talk about he's a smart baseball player, smart hitter. And then you hear it in his answers too. 3-0.
And he squares around on that pitch. And I guarantee you, if that was a good pitch, that wasn't just to square around just to show. He's thinking about it. They talk about it in the clubhouse when they have these shifts. Nobody on base, trying to find a way to get on early in the inning. So he was thinking about it.
And there's nobody home on that left side. Here's a 3-1, and Verdugo punches a base hit, beating the shift to left.
I could either bunt it over there or line drive over there. It doesn't matter. Still base hit, and I'll get on base. Well, gets 3-0, takes the ball down the middle as you're supposed to right there because he's just trying to find a way to get on. And even 3-1 takes the same approach in similar hack. But I mean, it wasn't 3-1. It's really easy to go, all right, I'm in a hitter's count. I'm going to go deep and try to pull this ball to right field. No, ball away, stays on it, goes the other way.
And brings up Taylor. Trying to extend his little hitting streak to 5 games. First one from Hernandez drops out, ball 1. Already a couple games complete on this getaway day. One of them, the Brewers, dropped the finale to the Cardinals 6-3. They had won the first 2 games of that set. 7 times in 10 days. You get a rematch of last year's championship series with the Dodgers and the Brewers. Dodgers will take off as soon as they pack the bags up, pack the trucks and buses up, head to the airport when this game finishes, and get into Milwaukee late tonight. Coming up and in with a 1-1. He misses down and away. And 2 balls and a strike. Two and two. Ball just got away from the bullpen. Runner at first, 1 out, 3-1 game in the 7th, and an A.J. Pollock home run. A 2-2 to Chris Taylor is cut on and missed, strike 3. So 2 out. Now the Reds have had baseball in Cincinnati for 150 years, 150th year anniversary of first pro team, not necessarily affiliated with the Cincinnati Reds as we know them, but point is there's a ton of baseball history in Cincinnati, and for almost 1/3 of those 150 seasons they've had the same radio voice. Barnes with 2 gone takes a strike over the inside corner. Marty Brennaman in his 46th and what will be final season as the voice of the Reds. Hall of Famer in every sense. Anytime you are as successful as he's been throughout his career, you're going to have overtures from other places when you're in a small market like Cincinnati. And he says the best decision that he's ever made was about partway through that run, deciding I'm going to stay here. So roller to short, picked up by Iglesias, who will feed to second to end the inning. A Cincinnati Reds icon, a baseball icon, a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest ever to do it, Marty Brennaman. For a 4th consecutive win as we welcome inside Joe Davis and Nomar Garciaparra. They lead this game 3-1. Tidy pitchers duel over the first 5-6 innings. Pollock breaks it up with a 3-run home run, but still tight and tense late.
No question about it. I mean, it's only a 3-1 ball game. We know anything could happen here late in the ball game, but at the same time, you really got to tip your hat to both starting pitchers. Sonny Gray looked outstanding out there. The Dodgers offense were able to capitalize on one mistake over the middle of the plate. A.J. Pollock able to hit that home run, and also Walker Buehler. Walker Buehler continues what we've seen from the starting pitching so far over the last 3 games, and he continued into this game where the starting pitchers going deep in the game and being really effective.
4th consecutive quality start for the Dodgers, as you mentioned, after they had 4 total over their first 16 games. Speaking of quality slider for strike 1 from Pedro Baez to Jose Iglesias. Buehler handed it off to Scott Alexander, who faced 1 batter, and then gave it to Baez. Who misses in. It's 1-1. Perfectly placed 96, a ball and 2 strikes. Got him swinging, and a strikeout to open the 8th. Oh, we're on the topic of Hall of Fame Reds announcers. We talked earlier about this being the anniversary of Vin's first game with the Dodgers. Speaking of both, this is also the anniversary of Red Barber's first game with the Dodgers. He started his major league career as an announcer with the Cincinnati Reds. Owner heard him on student radio down in Florida. Kyle Farmer, with one gone, takes the ball up and in. So he spent several years in Cincinnati to begin his career. He was really embraced there right away. Southern accent. Cincinnati a little more acceptable to the Southern accent than Brooklyn, where Red Barber then went. So it seemed a little foreign to the folks there, but they quickly grew to love him. Farmer dumps it back, and it's 1-1. And Red turned into not just a mentor for Vin, but Vin would say somewhat of a father figure. And Red didn't have a son of his own, so Vin kind of became that to Red Barber. Strict father, Red Barber to Vin. It's lifted down the right side. Verdugo trying to find it in the sunshine and can't.
He definitely lost that. He looked like he had a beat on it. And he was going in the right direction, and then all of a sudden he just loses it, and he stops, and it's a helpless feeling right there. We're like, where is it? And then it's just too late to pick up. You're upset because the ball was definitely playable. It stays in. You see it. You're following it. You're having a good read on it, and then there's that moment you just lose it right in the sun, and it's helpless, hopeless, and just missed it.
Baez ahead of Farmer 1-2 and comes back home. Of course, you've had Marty Brennaman for all these years in Cincinnati. You had Red Barber for a time. Al Michaels also had a stint as a voice of the Cincinnati Reds. And not even to mention Marty's son, Tom Brennaman.
Yes.
One of the greats of this generation. Still handling television a lot of days for the Reds. Not on this current trip, but Tom, one of the best as well. Really is a great baseball city, Cincinnati.
And guess what it's turning into as well?
What's that?
It's turning into a soccer city as well.
Cincinnati.
Yep. They just have a new expansion team as well. Great fan base. Obviously for baseball, the tradition there. Great baseball city. And getting incredible turnouts. And for their soccer team, new soccer team.
Foul ball got a chunk of Barnes. One and two on the old Dodger, Kyle Farmer. Leaves that fastball up, and it's 2-2. Kyle playing the infield today for Cincinnati. Dodgers fans got to know him first as a catcher, coming up through the minors, but he's got background as an infielder. He's worked the count full. 4-year starter at shortstop at Georgia, and they converted to catcher as soon as he was drafted. In fact, the Dodgers only worked him out at catcher in pre-draft workouts, so he knew he'd be making the switch if they took him. Hits him. And Cincinnati gets the tying run to the plate against Baez in the 8th.
We talked about the pitches he's getting more and more confident in and throwing it at any count. That's the changeup. That was a changeup right there. It just got away from Pedro Baez, just runs in and catches Kyle Farmer. We were talking at the beginning of this inning how still a tight ball game, how 90 feet matters.
And now Scott Schebler with the phone getting some work again down to the bullpen. Caleb Ferguson has been warming. Schebler, who's hit 47 home runs over the last 2 seasons. Ready for the first pitch from his old teammate Pedro Baez. Swings away at the first pitch. Fly to right center. Verdugo sees this one, and Schebler's out number 2.
Pedro Baez, I think, got away with one here. I mean, they wanted this ball down and away. And look at that, wanting that changeup, and that changeup was up in the zone. And Schebler just gets underneath it.
Not safe yet. Here's Votto. Not been hitting for the same kind of power the last couple of years as he did at times in his career, but you know there's still plenty of it in there. First one from Baez is up and in, and ball 1. Two and 0. Three-one eighth inning. On 2-0, Joey Votto swings and misses. Changeup that was again up, and it's 2-1. Ball 3.
Tough spot to be in. You know how dangerous Joey Votto, the way he can handle the bat. Do you really want to put the go-ahead run coming up to the plate, and that go-ahead run being Yasiel Puig? And in this situation, and you Dodger fans are used to seeing Yasiel Puig in this types of positions and how he likes to rise to them. This is a big pitch right here. 3-1 on a dangerous hitter. Potential of walking and bringing Yasiel up.
You saw the numbers for Votto against Baez lifetime. Very good. Pops him up here. Will they have room? Can they find it in the sun? The answer to both is yes. Pedro Baez with a scoreless 8th. Jay Pollock home run before the bottom of the 8th. We check in with the studio for a preview of Access Sportsnet Dodgers.
Joe, thanks very much. Another quality start from a Dodgers starter, Walker Buehler, 6 1/3.
He was on fire. 8 strikeouts for Walker Buehler. Big hit for A.J. Pollock.
No doubt. We'll see you after the game.
All right, Alana and Jerry and Ned, stick around for that. As Amir Garrett comes on to pitch, trying to keep it at 3-1 and give the Reds their best chance in the ninth.
Been really effective this season. Just a 1.35 ERA. And Dodgers trying to find some way to see if they can get some insurance runs.
A couple pinch hitters ready to come up to open this inning, with David Freese leading things off. And then it appears Justin Turner will hit against the left-handed throwing Amir Garrett. Inside with his first one, it's 1-0. Garrett, a former two-sport guy. In fact, went to St. John's to play basketball. He was a top 100 basketball recruit, just a token basketball player. That's fouled, and it's 1-1. There's a while where he had given up on baseball. His dad had to talk him into giving it another shot. Good call, Dad.
Yeah. You throw really hard. You're tall. You release in front of the hitter's face, it seems like. And
you're left-handed.
Yes, and you might have a future. Yep.
Sweeps that one in. 2-1 on Freese. Bounce back to him. Runs it over the mound, shovels it underhand, and gets Freese for the first out. And Dave Roberts will send up Justin Turner. Fouled a ball off his ankle during batting practice the other day, and then kind of limping around with that. His hamstring tightened up. He would have been fine to play, and Dave Roberts said he was not happy that Dave kept him out of the lineup again today. But trying to preserve his legs and not take any chances as part of this long season. Pinch hitting here, though. One gone in the 8th. Justin sees something right center.
Yeah, there is.
How Justin saw that and Yasiel didn't, I'm not sure. But
it's good. Just when you think about, he was feeling something in his legs the night game. Give him a day, then you have a day game, and then you have another night game. Get him some rest.
Long flight too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then see, there it is again. See that? You see him kind of hop on that swing. It's the same thing we saw a couple of days ago on that. So now I can't tell from that hop if it was that still maybe feeling something from fouling the ball off his ankle, or if that's from there's tightness in the hamstring. If it's from the ankle, okay, because it's more of a bruise,
right,
and you can deal with that, and it's just more of the pain you're feeling compared to some tightness in the hamstring.
Which you don't want to mess with.
Right.
No swing, and ball and 2 strikes. And this time last year with a groin strain. He's had some hamstring issues throughout his career. Hitting with the bases empty. 1 out in the 8th inning. A 1-2 from Amir Garrett that Turner takes outside, ball 2. Got him.
On Tuesday, May 7th, we're offering $1 Dodger Dogs courtesy of DraftKings, the game inside the game. To all fans in attendance, buy up to five Dodger Dogs per person per transaction. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Kelly Jansen taking a look at what's coming up. It'll be Puig, Winker, and Kemp for the Reds in the 9th. Dodgers got Kenley off of the hook in the first game of this series after he gave up a go-ahead hit to Matt Kemp. Strike 1 on Cody Bellinger.
It'll be an exciting matchup, right? Kenley and his good friend Yasiel Puig, who he still keeps in touch with.
Yep. Struck him out on Monday night. Just outside on Bellinger, 1-1. Now Yasiel hit that 2-run home run in the first inning on Monday. The Reds have scored a total of 3 runs in the 25 innings since. It's been that kind of year for the offense. They have pitched really well pretty much all season. They scored 14 runs in one game against Miami. They've averaged fewer than 3 the rest of the year. Garrett to Bellinger, 1-2. Able to get his bat on it. Foul ground left side. Long way to go because of the shift, and it's off of Suarez's glove.
And Suarez is going to say it hit off my glove. I should have had it, because he's able to get to this ball, but not easy due to the fact of how far he had to go for this ball. Easy play if he's playing third base. Not so much when you have that sun running that far. You can even see how the sun just kind of reflected off his glasses right before the ball came down. But he'll tell you, as most players would tell you, hit my glove, I had a chance.
Let's give a new life to Bellinger here. Another 1-2 coming. Lined into the shift and caught by Kyle Farmer to end the inning. Cue California love as Kenley Jansen comes on, trying to lock down a series sweep. On Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your SoCal Land Rover retailers. Back at Dodger Stadium, 9th inning, Kenley Jansen on for the save opportunity.
Looking for his 5th save of the season, trying to finish out quality series for the Dodgers, where they find themselves turning things around after losing 6 straight. Still not over. Dodgers fans would like to have Kenley on the hill at this moment.
Have to go through the teeth of the Reds lineup. Seager at short, Taylor in left. Taylor slided out there to replace Jock Peterson, who Justin Turner had pinch hit for last inning. It's Puig, Winker, and Kemp coming up against Jansen. And while Kenley gave up a run on 2 hits, if you're looking for a silver lining, it would be the movement on that cutter, which is close to what he wants as it's been probably since 2017. His first pitch to Puig is a little bit inside. 1 ball, no strikes. And you wonder how much facing his old buddies cranked up the adrenaline, got him in line. Part of it too has been some mechanical work that he's done with Rick Honeycutt, focusing on his lower half. That's a pop-up. Hernandez shuffles in. He's got it spotted and drops the ball. Unbelievable. Even on a day where we've seen guys struggle, a mistake that can't happen to start the 9th.
We've seen Kike Hernandez go after pop-ups and where he catches. It's kind of like below the shoulder. We've seen this before, and he makes it. This one, he's fighting the sun. He did a good job. He gets himself in the proper angle. He sprinted that. The reason he's turned is he's turning for an angle in the sun so he can get that ball coming out of it. He had that. That's going to be one where he said, I just missed it. Did everything right except for finishing and making that catch. That one has to be caught.
And so that wasn't a case of him trying to be cute. He's trying to position himself to be able to see it.
That's exactly right. That wasn't trying to be cute by any means. He was sprinting that, turning his body, trying to get the proper angle from the sun, watching that ball out of it.
Puig runs on the first pitch from Jansen to Winker, which is slapped foul. Either way, a mistake that you can't have, and a tying run to the plate here in the 9th. This is right before the play. He's looking up there, starting to game plan for if he gets a pop-up, and then his worst nightmare happened. Had one right to him. Winker, who's hit 4 home runs in his last 7 games, shows bunt, takes strike 2. Well, you'll take it. A guy that's hit 4 home runs in the last week, representing the tying run, showing bunt.
Right. He's probably thinking, I know I'm the tying run, but we also need base runners too in order to tie this game. And if I can get men on first and second and bring up the go-ahead run.
With Matt Kemp on deck. Jansen ready for the 0-2. Here it comes. Puig runs again. A swing and a miss. Throw down. Bounces into center. Puig will advance to third. His run at this point not critically important. It becomes all about the man at the plate who will represent the tying run.
Fielder number 27, Matt Kemp.
Good pitch by Kenley Jansen to get the swing and the miss up in the zone. That's when Austin Barnes frustrated with himself. So is Corey Seager frustrated with himself, not helping out his teammate Austin Barnes. But that is correct. Yasiel Puig getting to third. It's not the important runner. Batter is more important right now. Can't allow him to get on.
And it is Kemp that beat Jansen on Monday night, taking a beautiful cutter where it was pitched to right field to bring home what at the time looked like was going to be the winning run for Cincinnati. It was with 2 outs and 2 strikes, and it made it 3-2 Reds. Ultimately set the stage for Jock Peterson's walk-off home run in the bottom of the ninth.
And that was a missed spot because they wanted it up, but it was a good miss because it was way off the plate and it had good cutting action, and Matt Kemp was still able to get the end of the bat on it.
Chance at redemption for Kenley now, and a swing and a miss, strike one. Similar there. Did he ask for it up and wound up being away? But a strike. Kemp 1 home run so far this year. Oh, 1 pitch. Fly ball, left center field, not deep. Taylor's got it, 2 gone. Puig will come in to score. It's 3-2.
Third baseman number 7, Eugenio Suarez.
That's okay. You'll take it. I mean, after that error on Kike Hernandez, going, okay, that run didn't matter. This is the important one. Obviously, they'd be out of it by now if it wasn't for that. But at the same time, you're going, that's okay. You're glad that you were able to get Kemp to fly out. Still another dangerous hitter at the plate.
Who hit 32 home runs and drove in more than 100 in his all-star season in 2018. Kenley Jansen against Eugenio Suarez. Popped up. This has been no walk in the park. Who wants it? Barnes has it. And the Dodgers have swept the Reds. The big guy can take a big sigh of relief. The Dodgers have answered the 6-game skid with a winning streak of 4, springboarding into the road trip through Milwaukee and Chicago.
He can take a sigh of relief, and so could this man, Austin Barnes, for coming up with that. You're going, I mean, the worst feeling in the world, going, I'm backing up on a pop-up. I have to stay with it. Comes up with it, smiles all around, and a great series for the Dodgers. Coming back and taking a sweep from the Cincinnati Reds.
And that man right there with a game-winning swing, a 3-run home run against Sonny Gray back in the 6th. The player of the game brought to you by Lexus. Walker Buehler, 1 run scores on his line, but it came after he left the game. 8 strikeouts, by far his best outing of the year.
This is what we were looking for Walker Buehler. We touched on it. This is probably around the time where he really should be starting to get sharp because of the lack of spring training games, and he delivered today.
Dodgers now 12-8. They'll load up the buses, fly to Milwaukee, begin a 7-game trip for the Brewers and the Cubs. For Nomar, Joe Davis saying so long from Dodger Stadium. Stay tuned. Access Sportsnet Dodgers begins now.